Good morning, everyone. Just give me a little bit. Wanna change a few things. Should be good, right? Huh. Alrighty then. Oh. Alright, I've been away for a little bit. Well, from animation anyway. I need to take a little break and organize some stuff for myself, but let's get to it. Morning. Welcome. Yeah, we didn't finish the blocking last time like I wanted to. I think something came up and I had to stop the stream early. Just a little personal thing. But we're back at it. We're gonna be continuing to block the rest of this shutout. For those of you who don't know what we're doing, I took a clip from a movie called Clue and we made a scene around it. So we'll just play the clip from the beginning. I got this guy blocked out already. This guy, I think I only got one pose blocked out at 20. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I do have my sheet of when we want to keyframe him. Let me just pull it up real quick. Always, always, always have a handy dandy notebook. There we go. It's 20, 35, 55, 80, 99, 107, 113, 118. And let's get this ball rolling. But right real quick, this is what we got. You can see my reference in the back.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
You don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right.
And then we're going to continue on. I think I said an extra 20 frames. So this is really going to go from 120 to 140, but we're going to leave it at 121 right now just to, you know, keep everything neat and organized. We're going to do just what we see first, and then for the last little bit that we don't have reference for, we'll try and wing it a little bit. Not normally what I like doing. I kind of doing it as a demonstration sort of thing. But I did not finish posing him out. I do like the legs closed and removing this negative space, but the thing about it is it's gonna break up the scene, whereas he's perfectly straight and has no negative space. We could keep the negative space here for him and change up the pose, and it'll counterbalance his very straight posture. Which it's like any art piece, you want to keep the balance of the painting, unless you want a heavy thing. But we want to keep it visually pleasing for now. So yeah, I'm gonna finish posing him out with his hands. I do like how he's come up and pointing that way, and I kind of want it more of an arc rather than a straight, so we're gonna work on that too. What do I have this at? Do I have this in FK? No, I have an IK. Good. Whoa. Oh. Sorry, I've been playing with the sensitivity of my mouse and my mouse pad lately, because I've been trying to practice some professional gaming stuff. I really want to take my gaming a little bit more serious lately. We're keeping the negative space, or we don't want any more negative space between the arm and the shoulder like I have right here. It's creating a weird triangle. If we remove it, we'll probably knock the neck back and make this straight armed, or we can probably do this. Is that getting loud? It's loud for me. Enjoy my sweet serenading music. God, what is wrong with my voice? I can even hear my own voice and it sounds weird. And selecting things, you want to go backwards, always. Actually, oh, he's got some Yeah, he does. Alright, let's see this. Fist. Everything like that, except we're going to have to counter animate the finger. Beautiful. That's actually pretty good. Look at that. 0 negative space between the fingers. It's pretty fancy. Pretty fancy. Alright, and like I said, I don't want to keep this straight. We're gonna rubber hose this just slightly just to get a nice curve. We are not, I repeat, not gonna have this like this the entire time. But you see how I have like a nice curve? You the viewer probably won't notice it, but me, I would notice it. But it will create such a nicer like feel to it. Like even this, like I might sharpen this a little bit just to make it a little bit more jagged, make him not as soft, because I know creating more curves makes it nice and soft and pleasing to the eye, but he is a very jarring person, so we don't want that. We want it pleasing in some areas of his body, like having a nice curve, bent over curve, but in some areas we want to keep it a little bit more jagged and get the right feel for the character. That's like an artistic thing, is like with these minor adjustments. You really got to think of it not as a film, as an animation moving. You want to think of each image, as each frame, as a art piece itself, which is very nice, very nice. So, is his elbow really close to his body? Do I want to do that, or do I want to? So granted, the shoulder may be doing something very weird on the backside. You're not really going to see it, so don't have to worry about it. Continuing with that. Actually, that's jarring enough right there. Well, that looks a little weird. That looks, you know what? We're going to keep it away from the body. Twist the body. Oh, we're gonna remove that just right now, because we're probably gonna be twisting this a little bit more. Probably gonna want a fist for this hand too. Maybe not. Maybe not a complete fist. Sometimes you just gotta play around. Oh, duh. What we can do is we can remove the space, but not keep it as straight by rolling the foot Move that back to where it was. Come on. Come on. Oh, no. No! Son of a bee sting. Alright. Give me a quick second. Gotta reset up all this. That was the weirdest crash I've ever seen. By far. Never seen a crash like that before, where it just goes into nothingness. Doesn't even give a text. Oh, mine has crashed in the report. That's just beautiful. We didn't do too much. I mean, not that big of a loss. Yeah, let's see if my computer's doing anything weird real quick. Streaming. Spotify will turn off because we're not using Spotify. We'll turn off Origin too. Because Origin is straight poopy. Poopy McGoopy. I want to keep it. Alright. And loading up, and we'll get back to it. So we'll do just quick adjustments, not major. And then we'll get back to it. And it should be good. Ah, oh, you son of a bee stick. Alright. Welcome back. I do have some news for some people, but I know I keep talking. I got some good news coming up. I do. I really do. I just can't talk about it just yet. Not until it actually happens. Not until it's actual good news, but it's gonna improve this stream a lot, I tell you what. Well, for me, maybe. Well, I don't know. It should. It should improve the stream. Both gaming and animation. Aiming at him. So granted, it doesn't fully matter if it's aiming at him. It could be like that or like that, as long as it's right in here. But for something like pointing, especially with the eyes, you want to also make sure it is pointing at the character, because for some things it won't matter too much as long as it looks right on the image. Like I said, you got to think of the frame more like a painting rather than animation in 3D. Because yes, you, the creator, will see it, but the audience, which is what this is, they're going to see, all they're going to see is a finger pointing. They're not going to know if it's over here or over here. Granted, you do want it to be right for health's sake in case you need to move something, but technically doesn't have to. They like, the point I'm trying to get is there are some things you can cheat, I guess you could say. 2 seconds. I need to move my camera up to the top. Sorry. Sorry, it's a small thing I almost forgot to do. Oh, don't do this to me. I'll be right back with this, I promise. Don't snap, don't snap. That sounded gross. Don't snap, don't snap. No, I'm not breaking bones or anything. Can I please just like adjust, like, is there a way to just like, oh, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted. And of course. Of course, I can't see it on my screen, but you guys can see it. Alright, so my webcam's gonna be a little bit messed up for right now. Or my frame is gonna be a little bit messed up. Sorry about that. That was something I had to do. Yeah, it's all messed up. Oh, now I could see it. Why the hell? Alright, I had to do that. You guys don't know about that, but I had to do that. Sorry. Alright, back to this. We got that nice curl going on before. Let's get that back. Drop this. So this is rubber hosing. I normally don't like playing with these types of controls, only for the reason that it's not right. Your arm can't do that, but I do want to get a specific curve. Just real quick, we're going to save it immediately after getting my pose back to that one. This is where it messed up last time. So I was on scrubbing the foot roll. There we go. I don't like that. What if we do where it was back where it was? Back. It's getting better. I don't know if I like the arm like this though. We might move it to like right there. What do you think? Yay, nay? It is a very weird pose, but I like it for how weird it is. Because it's creating. It's creating some unique stuff. We are gonna work with it. Did I just this? I did just that. Oh no. Fudge sickle. What do I expect? Oh, sometimes they're like. Let's make this more of an angle. Thank you. What's up, cuz? Sorry, text is really small. I'll move that closer. I can't freaking see a dang thing. Ugh. See my beautiful forehead. I need my own dang space. I'd like a nice desk, place where I could put everything, and I won't have to be bothered with it. And you're pretty cool. Let's see if I can fix that weird elbow. I don't know what's going on. Well, I fixed it. Awesome. Something is telling me to actually keep the position that I have it in, because it's going to be easier on me. Actually, I kind of like that now. I do like the more bend in the back knee. Hips are pretty straight. Wrong one. I just need to adjust. So my back is starting to hurt. Need to sit up properly too. Oh, I need some good posture. Alright. Yeah, I kind of like that. Alright, I'll key it. What's next one? 35. And this is why you keep notes. Ooh, that's a good pose. So I unravel, I'm pretty sure. Like, I stand back up. I hear the song every once in a while. So I move my hips. This way, and I rotate towards the camera. I'll move it up just slightly. Look at my butt jiggle. Oh yeah. Bring the hand back down, and I completely go into a fist. So then this finger is the only thing I really touched. We could just zero that back up. Bring that back into the body. Get that curve back. Push that back a little bit. Get him back on balance. Right at the hip. And this completely goes almost fist. I like how the knuckle on that one comes out a little bit more. That fist is a really good fist. This is a really good rig for a fist. Don't worry about the arm going inside the body. We'll get that right. It's an easy fix. Oh, oh. I unraveled too much. much. This one went too much too. Copy, paste. Wrong one. So how's everybody's day going? It looks like it comes in more too. Curl the hand a little bit as well. There we go. It's a very aggressive pose. We will do the foot roll even more because I said so. That's why. Damn it. Sorry. Sorry, I need to do this, and I just noticed it was wrong on here. Nope, not that one. Where the hell is the webcam for? Let's see if it will reset. There you go. That's what I wanted. Sorry. That was can't really explain why I had to do that, but I had to do it. Because I apparently have been doing something wrong the entire time I've been streaming these animations. And I'm trying to keep like the tools over here, because there's really, underneath the picture, there's really not much that you need to see. I'm clicking, like there's a view button where I can see the different views. There's a show button where underneath the chat box you can see I could toggle what you can see, and I normally leave all of these off. I only need what I need. So like underneath the picture frame there's a polygons, NURBS, curves, which are the controls. Polygons is literally just the geometric shapes. Image planes, the reference, the camera. I need the camera because they also work with the image planes too, and I could control where they're at, and I need to control this camera, well, from how you're seeing it. So this is better view. This is what you're seeing, what I'm seeing over underneath the picture, and the panels just picks what you're seeing. That's how that works. So I just have a wide hand. We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do it. Excuse me. Nice. Whoa. Actually, you know, it might not be too bad to have a negative space right there. Have a nice little triangle aiming at him. So, in contrast to his perfect shape, his perfect straight standing character, we can have like a little bit of like arrows almost, like pointing towards him. Obviously, we had the finger in the last one. And his whole character is just aiming towards him. This one's a little bit more defensive, but we can create a secondary angle, still pointing towards him right there. We would probably have to remove this one though. Instead of keeping you from going in this direction, we need to keep it going in this direction. So we already have the character facing that way, so this is gonna be the biggest one right here. But another thing us artists, animators need to know is the direction of the character, the shapes that we're creating. Like this guy, yeah, he's got the straight one. This is what you're noticing. The arms are actually kind of secondary, and you kind of like almost don't notice them, especially with this curve going on, how smooth that one is. So yeah, it's kind of like directing it back towards him, but it's not really that big of a signifier to angle direction and eye pointing, because what these angles and these shapes do is they direct your eye, like like you'll notice things like like there's many film directors who like films in shots in 3, like they'll have like a border, like and like using the rules of third and using other directions and shapes to direct your eye in direction where they want to go, and creating a rule of the 180 degree angle, which we're not going to go in this one because the camera's moving, or not moving. The camera is very stationary, but like, so the rules of third is like there'll be a shot of like a doorway, right? And it'll probably have the top cut off. You only see one wall, and then the character in the middle, and it'll frame the character perfectly in the center of that doorway, and it creates a very nice dramatic scenery. So that's one way to do it. You have other different shapes and movements across the screen that really direct where the viewer's eye are going. This is Maya. So there's a few other software you can use. Blender is free. I'm going to do a Blender tutorial because it is free and anybody can follow along with it. You just kind of need you don't need a beefy computer, but it's nicer to have a beefy computer. A good graphics card, a good processor is probably all you really need. But yeah, this is Maya. This is Maya 2018. I think 2019 is out. And I hear Maya 2019 is lighter than 2018, and we'll do a versus. See if there's. And I hear it crashes less, but the art students at SCAD, they get the 2019. So let's see. Catch playback, that's pretty cool. I mean, they always update the work environment, so that's nothing new. Faster Maya. I heard it was faster. Performance capture with the new butter. Key reducer filters help refine animation curves. That is going to be cool. That right there is probably cool. If it helps with the animation curves, that's probably really nice. More features. Parallel rig evaluation. Yeah, it's just overall faster, but I mean that's every year they update stuff. But there's also 3ds Max, which is another big one, which I need to. I've touched it. I've played in Max. I haven't done a whole lot on it, and that was years ago. But honestly, you learn one of these programs, whether it's Blender, Maya, 3ds Max, was it Cinema 4D is another good one. Like those four are like the biggest industry ones right there. Just those four. Other ones are still pretty good that I can't really remember off the top of my head, but those are like Maya's like the industry standard. 3ds Max and Cinema 4D are like just behind Maya, not by much. And Blender's is moving up like a lot. Blender has come a long way. When it first came out, like in the mid 2000s, it was a little wonky. It has its own like mini game engine in it, which is really cool. Don't make a game in Blender by itself. I recommend using Unity or Unreal. Both of those are free. Or was it Lumberyard is Amazon's engine and source for Apex Legends and CSGO. There's a lot of different software you have to use. Like even with this, they added this in 2018, which is Arnold. Was it 2018 or 2017? I don't remember when they added Arnold. Arnold used to be just a separate plugin that you'd have to download and render out your films. But so this isn't like what you're seeing right here is just the model strictly kind of for animators only, and riggers if you want to consider them working in this too. But to make it like actual like movie Pixar ready, you got to go into Arnold and you gotta like render the view. I don't have any lights in there. Well, I'll show you. So we'll kind of make it more of the scene. Add in an area light. Turn this up. Let's see. Let's, yeah, increase the intensity and the exposure. I have no idea what that's gonna do. So if you want to learn lighting as well, there's also what's called a 3-point lighting, which is what actual photographers use in YouTube streamers, other streamers, which I need to start doing. I have one light and like 2 separate like window lights that have really bright lights, and that's usually only when I stream anyway, is when it has like a very gray white light. And this one's yellow, but it's not great. You'd never want a yellow light, but it's not necessarily yellow, it's actually just warm, so that's why I kind of like using it. It's not on though, like but lighting alone, literally just 3 lights will change your entire scene. So you have a quick tutorial on lighting. So you have your main source light, so this will probably be like some light on the ceiling, a lamp, a chandelier, I guess. Then you have 2 secondary lights. You have a you have what's called a fill light, which is almost on the opposite side. Normally I would turn off the light linking as well. And then you have a fill light, which will fill the areas of darkness and won't really cast shadows. It's literally filling the light, so making the scene brighter in a sense, kind of. And then you have the 3rd point light is going to be your rim light. So it's mainly going to be behind your character, and it's going to be aiming back onto the whatever's like your foremost part of your scene. So it's obviously the character. But what that one does is it creates a little light around the characters and separates it from the background, and it really makes the character pop. This is like the type of lighting that that you really see in cinema that make a regular camera look amazing. Obviously I didn't mess with the shaders yet, so the shaders are a little bit weird, but here we can actually, I actually made the secondary lights a little too strong, so we gotta turn them down a little bit. But and this one might not be casting because it's behind the wall. So there's other things you could do, like I can set these to not cast shadows. See if I can find them. Yeah, shadows. Nope. You don't want this one to cast shadows either. And then another two things we can do is we can do a Windows General Editor. Or nope. There's a Relationship Editor, and then you want light linking, light centric. So what this is doing is I can select the light. I could select the light. Fudge. I could select a light. Why can't I select it? Real quick. We're gonna save this real quick. I'm gonna delete these lights, but light centric. There we go. So I could select the light, and these are all everything in blue, even the half selected blue ones, is what the light is actually hitting and what it can hit. So this is light 1. This one should be light 2. This is light 3. So with light 3 and 2, we want to not hit it on the cube. So you see how it just, now it's not going to render on the cube. It will in this. This is just a like a light test sort of thing. It just tests where the light would be. Mainly it's for an older the original Maya setting. It's not for Arnold's setting, and that's why it's not doing it properly, because those are, so I have, so one thing you never want to do is keep the Arnold renderer up. Fudge. Okay. So you see the one light is casting the only shadows, the other ones are not, but you can see that the light is filling up the rest of the character. If I'll turn off light 3, which will be the one coming from this direction, just on the Ray character. So you see how dark he got? So these are creating a lot of dark shapes, and you necessarily don't want that, especially in film. You want to be able to see a lot of colors, unless you're doing like a lot of shape stuff. But it's really cool. Like, how much better does that look? Like, you can see the character. It still has the body shapes on it, the shadows on itself, but it's not that bad. We'll see it on the Malcolm character too. Actually, sometimes I could. The light is very close to Malcolm. You could set up 2 separate 3-point lights for each character, and I would probably lessen it on Malcolm. But even still, there's that, and then we'll see it with the rim light. So Arnold is very heavy on the computer. Let's see what it's like on Ray first. Changing, what about Malcolm? Ah, the light's not strong enough, that's why. Or it's being hidden. Let's move it over here. Oh, I didn't listen this light. This light is still strong as hell. So exposure is kind of like a cone of it. Not necessarily, but it's the best way I can describe it. And the intensity is just how bright it is over a distance, and I am using drop off. I don't remember exactly where it is right now at the second. I'm not really teaching that, so I'm not worried too much about it. But this is stuff that I'm going to be doing at like the very, very end. Like, let's see. Who's area 2? Oh, I forgot to increase the intensity. Knock this sucker back up. You can see the rim lighting on Malcolm. So I'm also doing a lot right now. I'm also streaming, video recording, and doing this at the same time. So it's a little extensive, but it shouldn't really be that. Yeah. So this light is separating him from the background. You can see it better on him because of his shaders. With Ray, I would probably have the light from this direction, but with Malcolm, I kind of like it on the right. You could like I said, you could do 3-point lighting for each character rather than just the entire scene, because that's the beauty of Maya and doing things in 3D. So you can do stupid things like that. Whereas in real life, you would need multiple lights that you don't obviously see as the viewer, as the audience. Yeah. And you can see it's only doing one shadow, which is very nice. This actually isn't too bad of a shot either. I kind of want to see that 20. Come on, get to 20. Get to 20. Streaming does take a lot out of your computer. A lot of people don't realize that. Something you also need to keep in mind, though, is the shape of the shadows that are created on the body. You don't want to... That's a very harsh lighting. We don't want that. I really do like the light on them. Obviously, we're going to play with Malcolm's shaders and not have them be so bright and shiny. Those were made in Maya. This is like made... Those shaders are non-Arnold shaders, which is why they're doing that. We'll get to that later. But we need to get back and stick on track to actually animating this. I'm going to delete these lights because we're not going to use that light. So that was just for an example. Oh, alright. Set that back up. We're on. We're still only on the second one for Ray. It's kind of pitiful. Oh wait, something I didn't do. I didn't do the face. So that's one thing we can do later. Is I kind of want to just render out the entire, or block out the entire character, and then do the face and the movement, the mouthing later, because speech can be difficult if you let it. And we can, you know what? Actually, yeah. I'm going to do it 2 different ways. Since I did already do the mouth movements with Malcolm, we're going to do them without Ray and see how different they are with doing speech. Granted, we should have reversed it. We should have done the mouth movements with him since he's doing all the talking and he's not. But I can only say that in hindsight because I'm a dummy. Why is that elbow weird? Elbow is doing some funky stuff and I don't like it. Why is the elbow doing that? It's weird. I hate when some rigs do that. They get like pinned up and, or they get like locked up in some of their joints, and rotations and stuff like that. You can't really help it. Sometimes you can't. But alright. That's Ray all. I want to twist the body more. Counter animate. So what I'm just noticing is obviously I kind of want to match the movements of what I'm doing. Not completely, but I want to make sure that like I'm doing the same movements. Like I'm not doing anything too wrong. Like I'm moving the hips forward and I'm rotating. I'm obviously not doing everything exactly the same, but I'm pretty much stealing the timing. Copying. It's okay to use your reference and grab things from your reference. At first, I thought it was wrong, but it's not. I mean, I made the reference. I mean, it doesn't make you any less of an animator. It cuts out a lot of time. That one of the animation books, my gaming animation books, it says the same thing. It's like, yeah, you don't want to take a lot from other references too much, but you want to take as much references as you can to build a greater animation. I don't care what it takes. If it's going to look good, it's going to look good, you know? Don't ever feel afraid about that in animation. Other things, like, or even graphic design. Graphic design, like, the best graphic designers are the ones who could steal the most stuff. I'm trying my best not to curse. It's just, like, built in me. Cursing releases endorphins and it makes you feel better. I'm sorry. It had to be said. Makes me feel better. Makes me feel better about myself. It's like restricting yourself. I don't know. I don't like restrictions. I don't like rules. Kidding. I had one. There was this one dude I knew back in the Navy. He believed in entirely in anarchy and in a like no government and entirely in a barter system. I'm sorry, barter systems only work in societies with like 100 people or less. Like that's literally the only time when it works. Like yeah, it would be nice if we could all live like that in an ideal society, but no, sorry. That's why we have money and a monetary system that actually makes the world work, in a sense. I'm not getting into politics. That's enough politics for today. I just thought that was funny. No more politics. That is one thing about my streaming that I'm going to try and keep out as best as I possibly can, unless I forget like I just did. It's going to be religion, money, and politics, because that was something I was always taught by my parents, was like never touch those three things in a work environment sort of thing. And money's a little different, I guess, but it depends. I mean like I know some people like donate money and stuff like that, so I don't have that set up, by the way. I don't want to have that set up until I guess I get a lot more viewers at a time. And I'm starting to notice that next frame. Sorry, this one's pretty good. He's a little bit off balanced, just barely, or just barely within balance. Like right there is probably his center of gravity. It's still over the foot. His head is so big and it looks like he's off balance, but if you look at me too, like I almost have that same curve, so he should still be pretty good. Goodbye, task manager. Let's save it real quick, because we did do a lot. I did go over a few different things, but the next frame is 55. Girlfriend's age 55. 555 is 50. Has anybody ever seen that? I used to love that. The 55 is the video. It was like originally done. Endozy World was the original guys, or the real Super Mario Bros. Or real Super Mario Twins, I think it was. Oh my god, they did some funny videos. They were kind of messed up, though. I will admit they were messed up, but they were funny. Like it's like a messed up funny. So we're gonna zero this stuff out. How's everybody's day going? I like the animation so far. I know I really haven't done entirely too much today. I got sidetracked by a lighting setup that nobody asked for. It's still a strong pose. Like I got some pretty good strong poses in there, and that was not intentional. So I'm not entirely worried too much on where some of these points are at right now, as long as they're in the general direction for when I do blocking. Like, I want them in the correct positions when I'm blocking. Because sometimes they might be right in like one frame, but when I go to another one, it's in the wrong position, needs to be moved up a little bit, or needs to be moved down a little bit. It's fine. That's something adjustable later. It's not too bad. Am I relaxing my hand? What is going on with my hand? There's just a really harsh light on my hand. That's weird. Almost got the gorilla wrist going on, where where like the front of the, or the back of the hand is facing forward, gorilla like. I'm doing almost the ape like pose. You can't see it. I can tell what I'm doing. That's pretty funny. Still got some pretty strong shoulders. I mean, I have some pretty weak shoulders, but I mean, like, they're up high. I really need to work on my shoulders. I feel like I have virtually no shoulders. Oh, how long have I been streaming for? Couldn't have been too long. Probably like an hour. And I've only gotten 2 keyframes done. I'm pretty sure we're only gonna get to finish the keyframes. Well, I mean, we don't have too much more. This honestly doesn't take this long either. Like, I should have been done with all these keyframes like for a while. Ah, notice how I kind of still keep that pose. I kind of need to go back to that. I don't... Thrust my hips forward, rotating even more. Bam. Throwing all the weight onto this leg. That's another thing you need to pay attention to, is where you're throwing weight onto each leg. Almost doing the Michael Jackson. We kind of need to back him up a little bit. Just here. Now we can move the fist back out a little more, just a tad. I feel like I'm coming up too much. Yeah, I'm paying attention to like this part. Paying attention to this part of my body. That's where my eye is at right now. There you go. And it's not... See how it's not moving? like I still maintain this curve, but my entire body comes up and twists. That's incredibly cool. It's just like small things about animation and life that you notice that you kind of want to capture. So we're going to keep this curve, but we're rotating and dropping the body up. Almost got it. I mean, I mean, it's not even perfect on mine either, and we create this triangle now. We had this. Well, this one. I'm like, actually, that's better. But I didn't want it like completely down for it. That's actually pretty good. Sorry, kind of fixed it. Drop it down a little bit. There we go. But you can see like the stretch marks on my shirt too. It kind of like alleviates the curve. But like rolls with my shoulder. Like sorry, it's just something really nice. You gotta appreciate, like, you know, life and some things, you know. You find when you start like looking at life and like your references, actual life, real life references, and you start seeing like these similarities, like these curves that overlap each other and things that actually like look very nice, and you try and capture that with an animation, like you're starting to really see things. It's pretty incredible, like how much you start to notice. I think we can do it with this one. There you go. I think that's it. Just gonna move this guy back in. Yeah, he's still over center of gravity. I'm just really worried sometimes. He's almost doing the Michael Jackson. Very close to doing it. Kind of kept the same. I normally don't like controlling the entire hand with that control, but this one has some pretty good preset hand things. I don't know what you call this. Preset hand positions. There you go. It's one of those days. It's always one of those days. You just animate so much, you just lose the words that you're trying to say. How's everybody doing though? I'm doing great. I'm enjoying everything. I need to check if I got paid. I need to check if I got my version of a W2. I don't know why it's complaining at me because I don't have it. I do want to play some games later. Like I said, I want to take my gaming serious too. I really want to get like better, especially with aiming. I'm doing a lot of aim training stuff. I'm trying to juggle, learning how to juggle more. There's a bunch of CS:GO, Counter-Strike Global Offense, CS:GO. Cool. Workshop maps, like there's an aim trainer one, There's a reflex and speed one. There's a bunch. I've downloaded a bunch, and what I'm trying to do is do for at least like 20-30 minutes a day, just work on my aiming with my mouse. I recalibrated my mouse for like the 100th time. I got my settings just right and how I want them to do. So I originally had it where like on my mouse pad, like I have a semi-large mouse pad. It's not like large, but it's not like a mouse, like regular mouse pad size. Used to drag it from one top of the corner of the screen all the way to the other, or one top of the corner of the mouse pad to the other, and it used to equal it with the screen. I now kind of lowered it a little bit, so it now only takes like about 3/4 of the mouse pad to do that, so it's gonna be a little bit better. The DPI is around like 400 DPI, kind of, so yeah, now I can set it to 100 all the way to 1600. It could go like all the way up to like 100,000 something, but nobody ever uses that. I don't know why anybody would ever use it. So what that's doing now is like my DPI is at 1600. Look how fast my mouse moves, and that's like very minor. Drop it down to 100. Same movement, and that's how far it goes. But most pro gamers play at 400 DPI, very low, which is a very low setting. You play with moving your entire arm, and I'm trying to get used to that. And I guess animating that way too is gonna help me out. Sorry, off topic, but it's just something else I do. That's the shape of a body, but we're not gonna go with that. We're actually gonna get a nice curve. Do bring the shoulder up. Drop the head back. There we go. That looks better. There we go. Got it. That's exactly what I want. Make sure everything's keyed. Next one, 80. This is when I finally move. Or move my foot, I should say. Obviously, I move. So one thing about animating. Back foot or the front foot. So one thing about animating is there's a little kind of, I guess, a misconception. I don't know what you call it. Where people like pausing. Like they'll leave some frames completely still in 3D. You'll notice them like in background characters more in like Pixar movies, like Incredibles 2 I was watching recently, semi-recently. You'll notice that the background characters, they just freeze at some points. They do it half for a reason, like half for. They have half reasons for it, mainly to, half of the reason is to make more focus on the main character or the speaking character, and obviously the background character doesn't really matter, and you're never going to notice it. And it stops the background from moving, so that the main character, well, if there's like one or two background characters, they'll completely freeze. If there's like a bunch of people walking, they're going to continuously walk or move and do stuff to continue that that background movement. Because if it stops while main character's talking, your eye's going to go to it. But if it stops completely, like one or two characters, like just before the main character talks, you're not gonna really notice it too much. But if everybody starts moving once, you'll notice it a little bit. But it's it's all directed out properly. So that when things stop. Anyway, sorry, but with main characters, I try not to have anything in particular freeze, because in 3D, in 2D you could do it a lot more and get away with it, but in 3D, freezing, having dead frames where something doesn't move or a lot of the character doesn't move, it looks weird. It's very jarring to the viewer, and you don't really want that too much. So that is like half my philosophy on that. Yeah. I try to make sure everything's moving at least a little bit. If just like very, very minor, like things that are supposed to be like I guess stop moving. It's just like very, very minor, like fractions of these rotations or translations, and you'll still see it slightly move. Like I just want like a very, 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 very subtle in just some things. Like this guy, we're gonna have him not move a lot, but we're gonna have very subtle movements, and we're gonna see how that works out. Every time I hear the last song that was playing, or section, I don't know what you call it, it's not really a song. Number one, because it doesn't have lyrics in it. Number two is because it's a live stream. It's not a song if it doesn't have lyrics. But, well, no, it kind of did. It had background. They ripped it from a show. Anyway, it's Steve Bloom's voice. He's a famous voice actor. He does Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. He does... oh my god, give me a second. I'm watching Samurai Champloo too. Samurai Champloo, Mugen. I don't know why I drew blank on his name. I love that show. I'm literally watching for like the 100th time. He's in Star Wars. He's Wolverine. He's Amon from what is that show? Avatar: Last Airbender, Legend of Korra. He's a few other people too, and I loved Amon. Like, that was probably one of the better villains, aside from old boy from season 3 of Korra. Oh my god. Sorry, I love that. I love season 3 so much of Korra. It was absolutely perfect. Dude just backs up and goes, "I've entered the void," and just does his thing. Not spoiling it. I will never spoil a damn thing. But when he says, "I have entered the void," and does his thing, dude, it makes the show. It made like that section right there. Apart from so a certain somebody in relation to that dude dying relatively close to that happening, like, that was perfect. And that's that's technically a kid's show. Like, that used to be shown on Saturday morning, and you show like some death stuff. Like, they're kind of ballsy. Granted, that show was more targeted towards teens, but still. Kind of want it a little bit relaxed. Do I relax the hand? I don't know if I relax the hand or not. Ah, I relaxed the hand. Awesome. That's just great. I love my hand positions. That's one thing I cannot draw entirely well. I'm trying to get better at it. And that is hands. I was never great at. I've been getting better. I've been practicing. Hands, like sometimes you just find like these cool hand poses. Cartoon hands, I should say. I'm decently drawing like realistic hands. But finding like really cool hand poses, it's just like, that's really cool. Like just before I put my hand away behind my body, like look at that. You got one finger out that way. I know it's another one of those things. It's like, dude, it's just a hand. No, I'm noticing things about myself that I do that I just like. Dude, it's just a hand. No, it's not just a hand. I'm recognizing life. I'm gonna get totally hippie on you. So you're not really going to see this too much, but I want it to be right for fudge. Ah, son of a beast. I always do that. I always forget to reset the... Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Zero that. I did not. Thanks, Maya. Thank you. I don't even know what the I did. Nobody's watching anyway. Nobody's fucking watching. Yeah, no duh, it's not responding. I am one sleepy boy. Oh, I don't even remember what happened since the last time I saved. I don't even remember. And I think we just finished up on 55, and that's what happened. I'm getting hungry. It's 1:30. I didn't eat lunch today. Let me put some eggs on boil real quick. I gotta let this load up anyway. Okie dokie, I swear I'm back. Load up. Where were we? Fuck. I fudge. Damn it. Nobody's watching anyway. Right, aw. Oh, you know what I just noticed? Hand should be doing more like this. Well, there is good news. Fudger. Fudge and fudge. Why are you coming up? I didn't ask for you. Oh, real quick, I need to set an alarm for that. Those eggies, so I make sure I remember to check up on it. Probably boiling about 4 minutes, but we'll do it on 3 just to be sure. Make that extra freaking loud. I love correcting what I've been doing, or getting back what I lost, I should say, because Maya crashes. That's the thing about Maya, man. Or peeps, whatever you want to be called. Just let me know, because I don't know. I usually just say man anyway, but I should probably just get away from saying that. I mean, some people are probably conservative and be like, there's only 2 genders and stuff like that, and then other people are like, I want to be called they, and I'm just gonna try and stay gender neutral. Just say y'all instead of man or dude, even though I love saying man and dude. People could take that the wrong way. Get mad at me. I don't want to do that. I am talking to myself, I know. The hell did I select though? That was 3 minutes already? Hmm. Give me 2 seconds, gotta check my eggs. Eggs are good. Another 3 minutes just in case. Oh, resume. Don't pause, you bugger. I'm streaming for an hour and 30 minutes. Kinda have to go to the bathroom. Yee. Gosh darn it, why does it keep doing that? Sorry. I just need to make sure that's right. If anybody cares. Nobody gives a damn about animation anymore. It's all about that rigging. Everybody wants to be a rigger. Kidding. You gotta check my eggs. minutes, 15 seconds. Perfect boil time, if any of you know. 8. 15 is that. Make myself an egg salad sandwich. I like it. We're saving a lot more. That was 80 again. But we did that a lot quicker this time than last time. Okay, zero everything out. Zero list. Goes back. So what I'm doing here, I'm not stretching up, is I'm gonna make this as straight a line as it possibly can by using the arm. You out, sucker. Ah, maybe not. Yeah, that's what. nice. Very nice. Now, when did I do that? Oh, alright. Almost caught back up. Actually, I think we are caught back up, Dougal. Hi, Dougal. Let's say hi to all the people. You know, you just want to get in my face and sniff. Ow! Ow! Once this timer goes off, though, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Get my sandwich ready, take a bathroom break, fill up my water. We'll finish animating. Or finish blocking. And that'll be it for today. I'll probably stream some gaming. 99. I think the neck is forward a little bit more first. Hey, okay. Alright, I'm gonna take a like 10-15 minute break. I'm gonna try and be back quick. Actually, hold up. I forgot, we got some animation going on. Just leave this up and going. Let's get that little notepad up.
Is there a timer on these?
Yeah, I gotta take it off right now.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right. Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need